Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You are now joining Mazi vs. SBK, the sports betting king. Let's go, man. The first professional sports bettor on the show, and he's an icon in the city. This man is freaking killing it, watching his videos. He has a TV show that he's a part of on Spike TV called Cappers. He has been making names. I saw I put 120K on the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot to talk about and discuss, especially out here in Vegas. So, yes, Mazi, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man.
How long have you been out here in Vegas?
I've been living in Vegas like 8 years. 8 years now. So, yeah.
Did you originally move out here for sports betting, or is that something that you just randomly stumbled upon?
Man, it just came about, man. I always been, dealing with sports. So I've been playing sports since I was like 4 years old. So I've been around sports my whole life. This kind of something that just stumbled to it, man. I just once I seen the money that I could make, that was it.
What were you doing originally before that when you moved out here?
When I just came out here, I was just entrepreneur, just doing whatever. I came out here. I had money saved up, so I came out here. And then once I started being able, because I was like, what I'm going to do? I was here, and I was just going out every night, partying. That got old kind of quick. So I said, I need to start doing something. And once I had a friend, and he kind of was betting. And then once I seen that, I saw the money he was making, and he was doing it on a smaller level. And I had a bigger bankroll than him. So once I saw, pretty much once I turned 50,000 to 300,000 in like 3 days, I was like, that's it.
So you started off hot.
Oh yeah. I started off hot because I started out small. I was doing like $100 bets just because it was like when I first started. And then once I started seeing like the $100, I'm like, damn, if I was doing 10,000, I could have made more. And then once I just got hot, it was all from that, man. It was all from there.
That's a smart strategy, though. Starting off small, always understanding how the game, understand the emotions that are tied to it.
Yeah.
I come from a trader background. I was trading Forex.
They're very similar.
Very similar. And then I started trading crypto. But for those, including me, who got very greedy in the beginning, we would just start levering up super hard and blowing accounts.
It's all about hedging. And it's the thing of, I think most bettors, they fuck up at. I can curse on here, right?
Of course. Okay. Yeah. Freedom of expression.
All right, cool. Yeah, most people, they fuck up. They'll win, and I did this too. I've done it too. I learned now because even with me having the money I have, I still can't just, every game. So you'll win. So let's say if you win like. I have you win, say you win 4 games in a row, you're betting 5,000, so you're up 20,000. That 5th game, don't go bet 20,000. That's where everybody screws up. They'll win, and then they'll just throw everything in, and you gotta always, and that's just the same thing with trading and Forex. You gotta play smart. You can't just get greedy and just throw everything in. You'll blow it all in quick.
Yeah, that's the fascination and the gambler mentality out here. It's tough. I know in the sports betting world, there's a few popular figures out there that do similar styles and strategies like that get some flack. Sometimes it may pay out, but
it'll pay out sometimes. But man, you always got to pad those losses, because at the end of the day, a loss is gonna come. You got to have those, be able to pad those losses. And I mean, if you got a big bankroll, it don't hurt you as bad. But if you're starting off, definitely always have a strategy, and don't just slam a game.
I've heard that the best sports bettors generally hover around like a 55 to 60% win strategy.
At this moment right now, I'm hitting 90%.
90?
I swear to God, I'm on a 14 and run 6-figure run. 14 and 1. I mean, I have 15 plays. I've won 14 out of 15 playing putting 6-figure bets, $100,000, $250,000 bets. It's ridiculous. They say the best gambler in the world is Bill. His name Billy Walters. Fuck him. I'm way better than him. I'm the Billy Walters of this generation, man. Nobody makes the money in sports betting that I make. Nobody made more money in sports betting than me. Nobody made people more money in sports betting than me. It don't happen. No one is in 90%.
That's insane. That's
in fucking insane, bro.
90% anything. You're literally a multimillionaire, which you've managed to do.
I have clients, bro, that are up 20, 30, 40, 100,000, 200. I had one client, he's been betting like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a game. He's up 200,000 a week just off my plays.
Is there a way to verify these results? And I'm not attacking your credibility. I'm asking because
I show it every day.
Oh, you post them?
I post it every day. That's the result. You can't get no more results because anybody can write something on the internet. Oh,
Yep.
I mean, dude, I'm showing it every day. I show my clients tickets every day, not one day. I skip a day. Every day I show my results. Every day. I'm transparent. If I lose, I say I fucking lost. Like at the end, I'm not fucking perfect. I mean, I'm damn near almost perfect, 90%. But like, I'm not. At the end of the day, I lose sometimes. But as of right now, I'm hitting 90% on my exclusive plays. Those are my top plays of the day.
And authenticity is very important, especially in a digital society.
And I think, and honestly, bro, I feel like, and I'm giving people way too much credit, but I feel like the majority of people can just see, they can just smell. You just smell authentic. That's how I feel. I can smell authentic. You know what I'm saying? When I meet a person, it don't take me long to figure a person out.
Yeah, you can hear it through their body. You could see it through their body language. You hear it through their tones, their vernacular, how they present themselves.
You can just see it.
You can see it.
You can see it. You can feel it. You can smell it. You can taste it. And it's just like, I just feel like they know. I know they know because every fucking day I have thousands of clients who want to, bet with me. So that let me know that they know it's authentic. I don't have no reason to sit here and bullshit nobody because at the end of the day, I don't need nothing from nobody. At the end of the day, when people work with me, I want them to make money. When the people work with me, I'm gonna make them. They're gonna make their rent, their mortgage, their car payment off my plays. I have people making a lot of money. I'm trying, like, the money I have people making is ridiculous. When I was in a fucked up situation, I wish I had a me. The type of money that I'm making people is life-changing money. I have people making $20,000 in one day off my plays. That's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous.
In terms of your clients, when I browsed through your website, you had different sports packages.
Yeah.
Are your clients separate from the sports package purchasers? Do you have private clients, I guess, in a sense?
I have personal clients, personal play clients. Of course, those are like my bigger clients. Like I have a lot of personal clients. The packages is more for people like if you're a bigger client, you need to be on my exclusive plays or my personal packages. Like if you've been, over $5,000 a game, you need to get on my bigger packages. You know what I'm saying? Like the packages are more for like the package on the site is more for like people like that's starting with a smaller bankroll. They're trying to build their way up. Like I used to be having between 1 to 5 plays on those packages daily, and those are people that want to build your way up. Once I build you a bankroll, then you message me and you start getting on my exclusive plays. Because I have the mentality of this. If you're I think most people mess up. They bet too many games a day. Like you can't, no way. People look at me and they be like, no way he's hitting 90% of the games. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna hit 90% of the games if you're betting 8 games a fucking day. You're not. The odds are not there. You can't win 8 games. It's hard to win 1 game out of a day, let alone 8 games. So I see people doing like all these parlays and I'm gonna do a parlay here and a parlay there. That's not how you fucking win in sports betting. 1 game a day. That's how you fucking go.
You have to be tactical in your approach.
You got to be tactical in your approach. Exactly.
That plagues everyone. Same with traders as well. When you're taking multiple trades, they always say you have to let the trade come to you. I'm sure there's a sports betting. Yeah, I'm sure the same as sports betting.
Yeah, exactly. You can't force. I don't force. One thing about me, I don't force plays. And I'm not, everybody might not like, if you're one of those people who just like 1 million plays a day, I'm not the guy for you. Like if you just want to bet 1 million games and 8 parlays, dude, go to somebody else. And they'll give you 8 games. I don't do that. Like if I see 5 games I like, I will give you 5 games. I don't force plays. That's one thing I don't do. I don't force action. If I only see 1 game, and some days I don't see no games. So if I don't see no games, hey, no plays today. And the degenerates, they get bad. Oh, no plays.
I'm sure the quality of life is much improved too. I have a bunch of friends from the decade that I've worked on the strip that are, we'll call them degenerate gamblers. I guess that's kind of a nice way of putting it,
yeah.
But they're constantly in the sports book, constantly stressing. If you're only betting on 1 game, you could actually enjoy the game with your friends. It's like an event.
You don't chase a loss. If that 1 game lose, don't just wake up and be like, if let's say we had the Lakers today, they play at 2:00. they lose, and another game starts at 5 o'clock. Don't just go bet a regular random game that you had no clue trying to chase a loss. That's another thing. Don't chase losses. If you lose, wait till the next day, figure it out, do your research, do everything, and then play the next day. Don't go run and play another game just because you lost one game. Now you lost 2 games.
I like your style. It sounds like you have a lot of precision. When it comes to analyzing data, this is probably something that you sift through like on the reg if you're literally coming down to just one game. How do you go about evaluating data or sports data or games?
I have my strategies. I have different strategies on how I pick games. I have different strategies on how I pick a regular game. I have different strategies on how I pick an exclusive game. It's just different. It's just really like secret strategies that I have.
Do you think the underlying data analytics is more important, or is there more of like a fundamental analysis, like in terms of like sicknesses?
Analysis. I'm not really an analysis guy. Analysis don't mean shit. Just because the fucking 49ers beat a team 3 times in a row, and that don't mean shit. It's just. Honestly, it's all about how you feel, and you got to know what to look for. But as far as like a lot of people think analytics is like the most important part, it's not. Just because this team went under the points in 5 straight games, that don't mean they're gonna go under the 6th game. Like it don't. It's a lot of it's 50% just knowing because you know sports. It's 30% research, and then it's the rest is like just luck.
There's luck to everything. There's
Just
luck. Even when you're an entrepreneur, they say success is luck timed with, luck timed with motivation and timing. Like there's a timing,
luck in life.
There's a lot of timing components.
You need
to
luck
it as
in
well.
life.
You have to be there in the right place, right time, or set yourself up in a position to where the luck finds you by going out and doing so many things.
It's luck and opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was broke, I never prayed to be rich. I prayed for opportunities. I think that's a shitty prayer. God, let me be rich. I think that's a fucking bullshit prayer. Yeah, I pray for opportunities, and then I pray for just opportunities.
Like,
as long as the opportunities come, if you're a go-getter, you're gonna make it happen. And you need some luck too. Luck is opportunities, honestly. Like you need to be lucky to get opportunities. Because honestly, I feel like in life though, I think you get 2 chances to be rich. That's how I feel. I think 1 chance, 2 chances if you're lucky.
I think life presents us a lot of opportunities. You just have to know how to go about analyzing it, right? It's like your net worth is your network. Like that's a big proponent, especially out here in Vegas. The more people that you surround yourself with, the more like-minded you'll be, the more ways that those people can analyze you and value you and whatever their perspective is.
True.
Like that's something I've learned through the podcast is like, I always say that purpose is how you interpret your journey, but success is how others interpret your journey, right? So you have this common thought of where you want to go, but everybody else has different perceptions on where you should be or how you could go about it. So it's really about like analyzing those opportunities and engaging with them when you are aware that opportunity is presented. And that's just that's the nature of Vegas. Vegas is a very entrepreneurial driven town.
Yeah, Vegas is a very entrepreneurial town. It's everybody's. Yeah, it's a different city, man. It's everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and that's kind of how Vegas is. It's a different city. It's definitely different, and then it's a 24-hour city. I mean, it's so many different ways. It's an amazing city. I always say, sometimes I get bored of it. I want to leave Vegas. And every time I go somewhere else,
nowhere compares.
Nowhere compares.
I'm sure you come in contact with quite a variety of entrepreneurs who want to get into the space. Is there any common group of people who interact with you in terms of like professions or people?
With sports betting, bro, I've met so many. I've been doing this professionally for like 3 years. 4. I've been betting personally for 5 years, 5, 6 years. But as far as like being a handicapper, I've been doing it for like 3 years. And I've met so many different types of people, man. I got females, males. I've met guys who's in hedge funds. I got NBA players. I'm not gonna ever say their names.
Of course.
I got NBA players, NFL players. I got people from the NBA and hedge fund millionaires to the local pimp that want to make some fucking money. Like it varies. Like I mean, it's a wide variety because everybody gambles. Mm-hmm. It's not like a certain not a certain level of people. In certain aspects and certain genres, there's only a select amount of people that does that. In gambling, you have a very wide variety of people, all types of people. So I met all types of people in my gambling days and gambling world. Like I met all types.
Everyone engages in some sort of gambling, right? Like in the investing world, they say if you win, it's called investing, but if you lose, it's called gambling.
Exactly. And it's only gambling when you lose.
And when you're an entrepreneur, you're gambling your reputation, right? So when you go out and go on and go on some sort of endeavor, you're putting your reputation risk on the line.
Of course,
so
every day I put out a play, every day I give out a play, that's my reputation. And then I'm pretty sure you're a business guy. In business, people they rarely leave a review or say anything when you do good. Mm-hmm. They only say a review when you do bad. So and that's why as I've got into doing business, I learned that reviews really aren't shit. I swear, you look up a review, it's really not shit because 100 people could have went to that same company and business and they had the best time in their life and they didn't even leave a review because who the fuck leaves a review when they have a good time? People only speak out when it's something negative, and we got to change that. That's why when I go to places now and I like it, I leave a review. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that most people don't. They only say something negative when they only speak out when it's something negative, which is very fucking weird.
Yeah, there's a way they call it the second evolution of technology. They say speak with your feet or speak with your money, right? You could speak with your money whether you're betting somewhere, but a lot of people now are speaking with their feet when you see the migration out of California and out of New York. Everyone's like, yo, fuck this place. We're out of here. Yeah. We don't have to say anything. We're just going to move.
I like that.
And everyone's moving out here to Vegas. That's why the housing inventory is so low.
It's so low.
It's
so low. It's crazy. Everybody's moving out here to Vegas.
Yeah, I've had about 4 real estate business owners on here, and from what I've gathered is the new migrants are all remote workers from like tech companies and these companies that have gone fully remote. So my thesis is like, okay, all these people are going to move out here. They're remote working, so they're probably making 6 figures for some tech job. But they're going to have to do something with all that free time. So I think there's going to be some sort of like entrepreneurial renaissance that's coming in this next wave.
When do you feel like the world's going to be back open? Because I just read that California is going to start opening like the sports stuff. Like you'll be able to go to the games and a lot of stuff going to open back then. What do you think?
Yeah. So from the county regulations, we're talking Nevada specifically. They're going to 50% capacity here in a few weeks, but then May 1st, CISLX handing the baton to the local county government to decide what they want to do in terms of their COVID mandate and restrictions. Carolyn Goodman's definitely been against the lockdown since day one. She literally went on the news and had that, like, she looked like a crazy lady, but kind of looks right now at this point. So I think we'll see some sort of normalcy here in the summer, but I don't think we'll see full Vegas until next year.
I just looked and see. They just opened up tickets. You can get tickets to the
Life is Beautiful
in the Vegas Knights games now too.
They were doing 20% capacity.
Yeah, they have.
Like that.
So I'm gonna start going to those.
Yeah, we need to ticket price and be a little bit higher, but hey, it's a little bit more exclusive. So right? That's what it's all about. Exactly. My concern with Vegas specifically is that the travel restrictions on international travel is going to hurt Vegas a lot because we have a high value customer base from the Asian base and the European base as well. Working at Omnia the last 5 years, I would say maybe 30% of those table sales are probably Asian tables.
Yeah. The Asians, they come in and I have a couple of Asian friends, and it's so crazy. We got to tell you about Ami when she came in town. I mean, she was I don't know exactly how much money, but she definitely multi, and we had a great time that night. But yeah, it's a lot of money in the Asians. They got a lot of money.
Yeah, they're very genuine people, very kind. They just like to come and be degenerate gamblers and party, which, hey, I can't hate on it. If you're having a good time, then.
Yeah, I play Baccarat, like, just a side. Just when I get bored, sometimes I go play, spend a couple of hours play Baccarat. That's all that plays Baccarat is Asians. Like, I see them, and you see the old Asian guy come in with his money. That's all they play is Baccarat. Yeah. They love Baccarat.
It has one of the best odds, or if not the best odds, I believe.
Yeah, 50-50. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 50-50. Yeah.
Do you diversify your winnings or your funds into investments or anything like that?
I have a couple of properties, rental properties I rent out. I'm kind of like I don't really like to. I try not to spread myself super thin because sports betting takes so much time, and it's so and the business is taking off so dramatically. It's so much time. But so I kind of like to, if I invest in something, I like to kind of invest and let it work itself. I don't want to be hands-on with the investment or put my time into a restaurant where I got to be hands-on. So that's right now where I'm at right now. But as I get older, I'll probably, invest in more. Like, I probably want to open up a restaurant or a club or something like that. That's what I'm probably do when I get a little bit older. But right now I got real estate. I like real estate. Real estate is real good. And I got a couple of rental properties and sports betting,
Yeah, you follow your passions. Once you have that financial flexibility or freedom to pursue other things, like, you find a lot of more fulfillment in those endeavors. But there's a famous quote. I forget what billionaire said this, but they say that millionaires diversify and billionaires concentrate. So
millionaires diversify and billionaires concentrate.
If you look at all the billionaires, they all concentrated their wealth, their passion, their time to one endeavor, right? Bill Gates, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
The only real one was Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
But most of the people, they put all their eggs in their basket. They double, triple down on one thing, and that's usually what gets them up there. And then diversifying usually protects your wealth.
Yeah.
Because you have that risk hedge.
Yeah, I just feel like a person that does so much does nothing. It's just because the average person can't multitask. It's just like, I'm not good at multitasking. I just watch to focus on what I focus on. I'm not, and people need to learn what the fuck they're good at. Like, everybody's not good at I'm not good at multitasking. So it's just like, that's why I just focus on what I need to focus on. And I think most people, they try to do too much. They got too much going on. Like, they try to do this business, do that business. And then people, the average person that gives up on business is so quick. Like, you see a person, 1 minute they doing this, 1 minute they doing that. It's not, you meet one person that you got to stick to the business, believe in your business, give it a certain time, let it grow. Like, if I would have just, when I first started, if I would have just started and said, I wouldn't even be where I'm at now. You got to just give it time.
It's a trek. Some people hit big early, some people hit big later. There's a book that I read when I graduated college. It's called Shoe Dog, which is the story of Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. He didn't make his first profit until 17 years into the Nike business.
That's a little long.
Yeah. It wasn't until his IPO, because he was running.
You got to have very good patience to wait 17 years.
Yeah, he had a cash flow neutral business until the IPO, and then he all of a sudden was a billionaire.
Wow.
But it's just like those kind of things you never really know. You just have to keep pushing yourself and know that eventually something will hit. I had 2 previous business adventures, and those didn't necessarily hit, but I derived some skills out of that.
Of course. Yeah, my first couple of business endeavors, they didn't hit neither. I had a clothing line. It was called Rich and Flashy, and I had a clothing line. I had a store in Cumberland Mall. That's in Marietta, Georgia. I had a store. The clothing market wasn't for me. I tried the clothing. It wasn't for me. I had a couple of business endeavors at first that didn't hit. But like you said, I learned from those. I learned what to do, what not to do. Even now, I learned even the clothing, me having a clothing line kind of helped me now with my merch. I know not to go buy a whole bunch of merch. When I sell merch, because when I was selling my shirts with my clothing line, I have a whole bunch of merchandise. And, it takes time to sell merchandise. So don't go buy a whole bunch of merchandise. Just get a little bit, sell it, and then get more, you know? So I learned that now when I buy merch, when I get my merch out, don't just go buy a lot of merch. You know, it's, you learn from other business endeavors, man.
Yeah.
Just like how you said.
Yeah. And you never know what traits you picked up from whatever business comes into play later in life. It's all about one of my biggest takeaways from my app business was negotiating. It was kind of like going about cold calls, presenting yourself to other people, and just having a conversation and getting people to buy into whatever it is that you're doing, like authenticity.
Yeah.
And it's like you could really never even project or predict that kind of thing of happening until years after, when you're reflecting and you're like, wait, how am I doing so good at this? And you're like, oh, this is where I learned it from.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a really cool business. So I do have one interesting question. Maybe you said that you'd been doing this 3 years now professionally. That
Correct.
seems fairly quick to rise to the top ranks.
Yeah, I mean,
Does it feel like that for you as well?
not really, because I put not really. I mean, when I say professionally, I mean, I guess when you start, that's professionally. Whenever you put your money down, you started.
Well, you've been receiving media attention, and like your name's out
like
there.
like 3, about, yeah. I mean, it's I put so much work in it. It feels like I've been doing it longer, because I mean, I'm a workaholic. Like I really, like, all I want to do is work. Like I don't even, like, I have a little social life, but my life revolves around work. I just want to work. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. At the end of the day, I'm young. I just want to work. I enjoy and do everything else later. So I've been putting so much work in. It feels like I've been putting it in for a long time. But I guess 3 years it's really not that long, though, honestly, when you really think about it. I never really sit and think about it. That I've only been doing this for like 3 years, but
that's that's just your mentality speaking, right? Yeah. You've said you feel like you've been doing it longer because you've had the same mentality this entire time. So it's those like speak it into existence or fake it till you make it kind of things. And then when you make it, you're just like, I'm literally the same person. Yeah. It's those people that you see that are changed by wealth or changed by money, that you're like, you've completely been manipulated by this materialistic society because of what you have now. Exactly. And you feel exactly the same?
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. That's the crazy part. I don't feel any different. Like I don't feel the same like as when I go out. I can spend more money, you know what I'm saying? It don't really hurt me. But as far as like me just waking up, I feel the same. Like it don't really like, you know, it don't really like phase me. But one thing it does change, and it sounds so cliche because everybody says it. But once you get it, you kind of understand. It don't change you. It just change the way people look at you. That's it. It changed your friends. Like it changed all of that. Like friends look at you differently. Everybody looks at you differently, and it's crazy, but it is what it is.
Do you have to evaluate your friend circles a little bit more closely now?
I cut a lot of people off. Like I cut people off very quick. Like I cut, my circle is like this small now. Like it's so small, and I like it better that way.
It feels more authentic.
It feels way more authentic. Like I got a little girl, like spending time with her. You know what I'm saying? That's where I just get my joy from, and just spending time with my little girl and just enjoying her and just, you know, watching her grow up, and you know, and then I just feel like most people just, you know, most people are just fucking pointless to have around in a way. I feel that's just how I feel.
Yeah, you have to understand who it is around you and for what reasons. Exactly. That's a lot of millionaires, even billionaires, slip up and they end up losing their money or even their life. Look at the story of Tony Hsieh, unfortunately. Yeah. Are you familiar with that story?
No, tell me about it.
So do you know who Tony Hsieh is?
No.
He was the founder of Zappos.
Okay.
He lived...
That's the restaurants, right?
No, Zappos was the online shoe merchant. And then they were acquired by Amazon in 2009 for like $1 billion. So this made Tony Hsieh $1 billion. He was the one that funded the downtown project.
Okay, got it.
Downtown. He owns like Ferguson's and just like basically revitalized all of downtown Las Vegas because he moved down there. So he just passed away about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. He moved up to Salt Lake City and he started surrounding himself with people who were just like using him and using his money. And so he was, the story is, and this was reported in Forbes and Wall Street Journal and a lot of these other ones, he was setting up $10,000 prepaid bar tabs at all of these bars. And the people he was surrounding himself with were just going out with him and partying. And they were getting him sucked into this like drug abuse, doing NO2 cartridges and whippets and things like that. And he ended up passing away because the outhouse he was staying in caught on fire. And they think it's because he was going out so much that he was knocked out. And the fire they pulled him out of the fire, but he died from the smoke inhalation at the hospital. And he was a billionaire.
Wow.
It's just because he didn't surround himself. And a lot of his closer inner friend circles, he had forget what the band was, but there's a lot of famous people that came out and like wrote him notes and were telling him that he was worried about that they were worried about him and they didn't like where his life was going. And he was surrounding himself with the wrong people, and he just completely dismissed it and ended up costing him his life.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so you have to be weary of bad intentions.
Got to.
Can you usually note that out when people come up to you?
I'm so good at like just energy and just you got to be a very good actor to fool me. Like you got to be a very good. I can just see it because the average person can't hide their real self. Like you gotta, the thing how you can read people is stop doing all the talking and do all the listening. Like if you do all the listening, you do all the just looking, let your eyes and your ears do the work. People will tell you who they are. You don't really even have to ask too many questions. Like if you meet a girl, just let her talk. She'll tell you who she is. Most people are like that. And they'll tell you the energy and the way they look, their eyes, they'll tell you everything you want to know if you just be quiet and just look and just listen.
Do you think the flashiness, I saw a video where you bought a Lamborghini, you're in a fur jacket. Do you think that attracts the wrong type of customers?
No, I think, no, because I mean, at the end of the day, people, no, I don't think so. I just think it might attract jealousy. But does it attract wrong? No, I don't think it attracts the wrong customers. I mean, that's just. No, I don't think it attracts the wrong customers.
I know materialism can be perceived as, I wouldn't say bad intentions, but this type of persona that you just don't want people to come and surround you with, it's almost like sometimes like people can see materialism as almost like a shield. Like you're like trying to cover yourself in these like, in this like glamour and glitz kind of thing, So, and out here in Vegas, it's a very materialistic, superficial town.
Yeah.
And that's what people are always about.
I think the whole West Coast is superficial. The whole West Coast.
Yeah. Vegas is a superficial town. I think there's a lot of suppressed pain within that. I've seen that in a lot of my coworkers and even myself included, that I would be hypocritical if I didn't say that I was included in that. And just
you say suppressed pain, what do you mean?
I think that there's a lot of, I'd say, lower self-esteem. Like a lot of people just aren't as confident in themselves. So they mask themselves.
Why do you feel like they're that way though?
From conversations and from the way
I'm saying, like, why do you feel like why do you, not necessarily that aspect, why do you feel like people are like, they feel like that though? What's the reason why people feel like that? What do you feel?
I think it generally stems from childhood trauma in some sense.
So crazy how much childhood plays
isn't it?
Your whole, it's a guy right now, 55 years old, still blaming his whole life on his fucking father. Mm-hmm. Ain't that crazy?
Isn't it? Yeah, it really is. How we view women or how women view men is predominantly dominated by how your parents treated you.
It's crazy,
isn't it? Like
that's why I'm in my daughter's life every day.
You have to. Oh, congrats.
That's why.
You really, it's a staple. I took a class in college. I went for kinesiology, and it was called motor development across the lifespan. Mm. And the basic premise behind the class is nature versus nurture. Are you born with these skills? Are you born with this emotional pain, or is it something that's learned? And for the first 4 or 5 years, it's generally like a nature type of thing, but then the rest of it's nurture based off of your experience from home and life and everything like that. Mm. It's like if you look at a lot of millionaires, I believe the stat is over 60% of millionaires are all self-made, and a lot of them stem from, lower economic childhoods where they had to fight for every single day and to learn through all of these mistakes and skills. Where if you have inherited money, a lot of those families and kids and parents and whoever it is that inherits hundreds of millions of dollars, they are generally not viewed in the right type of manner. I mean, they have the clout, obviously they have the money, but they tend to kind of look down on everyone else in society.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it sucks that it's like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I always say, because I grew up on the east side of Vegas. I grew up in a lower middle class family, but I say that was a benefit to me because it taught me how to be resourceful.
Yeah.
To use, not use in a bad way, but to utilize your network, to utilize what you have around you, and to not think that, the world is out to get me. We all start in different situations, but it's how we have to be proactive about the reactions of how life sends us different signals.
Yeah.
How would you say your childhood was?
My child was good. We all go through different things as a child. My child was good though. I wasn't eating, water cereal, it was pretty good, got a car when I was 16, it was okay. We weren't rich as hell, but we weren't broke as hell neither.
Where are you originally from?
Originally from Atlanta. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up in Atlanta, and it was a good childhood. Mom and dad, my mom and dad still together. They've been together like 40 years. So I grew up it was a pretty good neighborhood. As a child, you still grow up, you still have your, you still do bad shit, and you still have your, but I feel like if I didn't have that, father, a good father in the house, I would have been way off track. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that kept me from, well, a lot of my people I grew up with, dead in jail right now. Me having when I used to tell people I had a mother and father in the house, it was like none of my friends had that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, my folks still together. And I started learning like, damn, this is not regular. Like most of these people just growing up with a mother. So, I just feel like that just kept me on I don't know, it just helped me not go,
kept you grounded.
Kept me grounded, and it kept me out of a lot of trouble too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you have the chance to live in any other city before coming out to Vegas?
Yeah,
Did you bounce around a bit?
Yeah, I lived in Atlanta, Birmingham. I lived in Minnesota. I've lived in New York, and then Vegas. Yeah.
Is that just for adventure, just to see what was out there?
Yeah, because a lot of times I go places and then I'll just go for a week, and then I like it, and I just end up staying. That's how it is. Like I went to Minnesota. I only went there because I had some friends out there, and we was just gonna do some business. And I ended up staying there for like 2.5 years. Then from there, I went to New York. My sister was in New York. I ended up staying there for like 3 years. So that's kind of how it goes. I go, and if I like it, I just stay.
So I don't think I've ever met anybody who just traveled to Minnesota and enjoyed it.
I know,
that's not from there.
But you know what? It was probably one of the best cities I ever lived in. I liked it because it was like, I love Minnesota. That's probably the best city I ever lived in besides Vegas. Because I like Minnesota better than New York. But I like Minnesota because you get both. You get like the small town feel, but then you get like the big city feel because they got all the sports. They got football, basketball, baseball. So you get both. It's like a best of both worlds. You get the small town, town feel, then you get the big city feel too. That's why I liked it.
That makes sense. Yeah, I forget that they have pretty much all of the major sports teams. Mm-hmm. Growing up out here in Vegas, it's still surreal to me that we have 2 professional franchises.
I know. Honestly, I still don't feel like we got the Raiders because
we didn't get to experience it.
We haven't got to experience it yet. So, but the Knights are definitely Raiders. Definitely Vegas.
Yeah, they're the expansion team. I think that's why the city has rallied around them so much. And I don't think that the city's going to rally around the Raiders as much because it's not an expansion. So it's not like originally a Vegas thing.
Yeah, it's not original. Yeah.
The benefit to Vegas, though, is a lot of the tourists, and I don't even know if I'll call them tourists. I call them like secondary residents. They view Vegas as their second home. There's so many people that feel like that, and customers and clients that I've talked with, that I think I think over the next maybe 5 or 10 years, the Raiders are going to have a huge international fan base because they're in Vegas and it's like, hey, let's go to a Raiders game.
Yeah.
And so then you just like them because they're like, oh, I go to Vegas 4 times a year. Like they're in Vegas.
Exactly. I can see that. I can definitely see that. That makes sense.
And then next to fall, probably NBA, and then maybe MLB is last.
Yeah.
Seems like there's been a lot of traction in the NBA.
Yeah, they want an NBA team. I want them to have I wouldn't mind them having an NBA team. That would be dope. Vegas NBA team would be dope.
Do you have a favorite sport?
Sport to watch, football, sport to bet, hockey.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because hockey is easier to bet? Or
I'm just good at it.
You have a natural inclination towards it?
Yeah, I'm just good at it every day. It's routine. It's like hockey. You can. It's like they doing it every day, so it's kind of like a routine. So yeah, I like betting hockey. I've grown to actually like watching hockey. So I mean, it's an amazing sport. It's a very amazing sport. So hockey and to watch, I like football. That's my sport to watch.
Yeah, did you play football too?
Yeah, I play football.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
What position you play?
I played receiver and safety.
Receiver and safety. Okay.
I was very big my freshman year, so I actually played O-line, tight end, and like D-tackle. Yeah, I lost a bunch of weight right after that. How about you?
I played running back. Growing up, you just started playing like high school or what?
In high school, yeah, that was the first time I ever played sports.
I played football since I was 4 years old. So I played every position. I played lineman. I played middle linebacker. I played cornerback, running back. I played running back in high school. I done played every position from my,
It's the thing with watching football. I still like see myself playing whenever I watch NFL. It's that nostalgia feel.
Me too.
I think that's why it's so popular.
I know. Me too. I feel the same way. I'm like, I could have played football.
It's tough to bet though, right?
NFL is pretty tough to bet. I think NFL the most rigged sport out of every sport. NFL is so rigged. Like when you really don't understand how rigged it is until you're actually betting it. Like when you're actually betting, you be like, yo, like oh my gosh, NFL is so rigged, especially when it comes like if you're betting the total on the games, it's so rigged. But I love it.
It's so funny. The swing is always in the last like 10 seconds. There's like a last second safety or a field goal for no reason.
Man, a field goal for no reason. Or they don't kick a field goal and they go for 2 when at one point would take the over. It's crazy like that. It's crazy. It's a lot of rigged shit in the NFL. I think out of all the sports, it's the most rigged out of every sport.
Do you bet college football, college basketball?
I like college football, college basketball.
Seems like those, to me, have the largest fan bases, even over professional sports. I think it's because there's so many colleges and there's so many people who are alumni of those colleges that
college football is hard too. College football is, I mean, honestly, no sport is easy to bet. Like if anybody ever tell you sports betting is easy, you can make $1 million up, that they're fucking lying to you. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. If it was easy, everybody would be fucking rich off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy career. Betting sports is definitely not easy.
Do you bet some of the more individual played sports like tennis, golf?
Nah, I'll do a little horse bet here and there. Like I won a horse bet not too long ago. But yeah, I do the horses every now and then, but not tennis and golf. Nah. I did a little Korean baseball when
dude, everyone was doing that. And tabletop tennis.
Yeah, I did a little Korean baseball when the pandemic hit. So yeah, that's about it.
It's interesting. I didn't yet. When the pandemic stopped, a bunch of my coworkers were all betting Korean baseball.
Korean baseball, I know.
Get the fix in.
That's crazy. I know. It's insane. I still can't believe I was betting Korean baseball.
Do you follow it now anymore or no?
No, hell no. It was horrible. Korean baseball. I was actually good at it, but I actually watched some of the games. They're trash.
Have you considered e-gaming in esports?
What's that?
So like video game betting, like video game sports, that's been gaining a lot of traction, a lot of popularity, and people betting on these like individual sports players. But I mean, they're like 15-year-olds playing the game.
No, I never got into that. No, I'll do a little. it's not e-gaming, but I do like a couple. With me and my guy, we'll bet a couple thousand on some Madden games in here.
Yeah, that's e-gaming.
Okay,
that's e-gaming. Yeah. So that, I mean, it's also translated over to the computer-based ones like League of Legends and World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I bet on Madden. That's probably the only game I play.
Yeah, it's sports because it's tangentially sports related.
Yeah.
You know?
So I play a little Madden. That's it.
It's just like with how fast technology is evolving, it seems like the like betting mechanism is just becoming entrenched in all of these different things that you wouldn't even think are betting relatable, like e-gaming.
Really?
Like it's like it's the gamification of just different things in society that you could bet on now. And
bet on everything.
Yeah, and Vegas kind of has to branch out now that betting is legalized across the country. They have to add like different niches into the plethora of the sports book.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of it's legal a lot of places now. I know I got a lot of clients in Detroit. I got a lot of clients, and these clients, I got clients everywhere, but these clients can go in the sports book and bet. They don't have to bet online. It's Detroit, Illinois, Indianapolis. I know them. I think Tennessee just got a sports book. New Jersey. It's a few places that got sports books now, which is good.
Why do you think Vegas is superior to the sports betting model than, let's say, Detroit or Atlantic City? Like, why would people come down here and bet, even though they could bet anywhere else?
Because Vegas is Vegas. Vegas lets you get the odds. They let you get a lot of money off. Vegas is just Vegas. So it's just like this the mecca of it. It's kind of like, hip hop is originated in New York. So once you go, you get that feeling. That's how you feel when you go into Vegas. It's like Vegas is just like everything happens in Vegas. The odds come from Vegas. Like when the odds of the games come out, like say Cowboys to win, Cowboys minus 130, Vegas made those odds. So I mean, this the mecca of it. You're gonna always want to come to Vegas, and it's just where it's at.
All right,
they got the best sports book. They got the best odds. They got the best everything. Vegas is where it's at when it comes to sports.
The allure and the attraction.
Yeah,
you can go. There's just like so many 5-star restaurants, and you have the hotel room and the capacity, the conventions, everything else, the clubs.
Exactly.
So that is really, really hard to mimic.
Very hard to mimic.
What's the best? Who has the best sports book in the city? In your opinion,
I have a sports book review. I did my top 3 sports books in Las Vegas, so you can go check that out on my YouTube.
Hey, subscribe.
Mazi SBK, and I think number 3 was Caesar's Palace. I like Caesar's Palace sports book. Number 2 was the Mirage. I like the Mirage sports book. I won the most money at Mirage. I always hit good streaks at the Mirage. And number 1, I think I had put the Westgate. But as of right now, I think, and that was like a year ago I did that. I think as of right now, if you ask me today, I like Bellagio sports book. And it's no really reason why I like it. I just win over there.
It's a little bit of a superstition.
Yeah, it's no real reason. It's not the greatest. But I just like the people over there. They don't mind me recording when I win. And Circa has a great sports book too. Circa is probably it's probably the top.
They're coming up. Derek built a great building.
Yeah, Circa is great, and Circa let you. At first, I was the first person, if you don't know, to bet $100,000 at the Circa. I bet the first day I bet, they didn't even know what to do with my bet. They were so clueless when I went. I put $100,000 on the game, on an NFL game, and they were so clueless. But now they let you put the big money on the games over there. Their sports book is nice. They got the biggest screens. Circa is one of the top sports book right now. I like Circa. And
it's also downtown too, so you get to embrace the culture down there and experience some other things. It's not as glamorous as the Strip, but it offers different attractions, and it's kind of like you get to step away out of that limelight and the attention.
True. Facts.
Yeah, I'm sure when you walk into, let's say, the Bellagio Sportsbook or any of these other sports books on the Strip, do you generally get recognized?
Of course.
By the community?
I have all the time. Like, I have people, most of the time I go in there with a hood. Then sometimes I have a runner going there for me. So I don't go in every day. Sometimes I have runners going for me. But when I go in there personally, it's always even the people who work there know me, or I see people in the sports book, they'll know me. Everybody, when it comes to sport, everybody know me.
How would you evaluate the sports betting community? And we could take this into two-set approach. How would you evaluate the sports bettors, the figures like yourself? Like, is that community tight-knit, and then the supporters?
I mean, as far as the sports bettors, people like in my business, most of these guys.
Is it very like antagonistic? Like there's kind of like animosity between you?
Yeah, nobody like each other. Yeah, it's not like we're friends and I don't like none of them. So if they watching, I don't like none of y'all. And I don't go fuck about none of y'all. I'm the fucking best and just shut the fuck up. But yeah, it's like none of us like each other. It's very competitive and but I mean, I feel like I honestly, it's only a certain amount of us that's really like, and I know I'm on top. I know I'm on top. I have a saying, nobody made more money in sports betting than me. Nobody makes people more money out sports betting than me. And that's my saying, and it's so true. Nobody makes more money sports betting than me. That's betting on sports. And I make people the most money. And it shows every day. So, but to get back to your question, yeah, we don't like each other. Simple as that.
Makes sense. You're fighting for different resources. Something I always say on the podcast is if you're in the digital age, if you're like a social media influencer, YouTuber, something like that, it's generally collaboration over competition because you're fighting for time, people's time, right? Yeah. So that's not time is finite, but it's not as finite as the dollars in the dollar game when you're trying to get people's money and, to support you, the kind of thing.
Exactly.
So when you're on the internet, if you're two YouTubers who collab, generally both of your audiences come support both of you.
Do podcasters? Y'all like,
no, we're all collabers. Yeah, we all.
So y'all get along?
Yeah, we all support each other. I'm actually doing like a clubhouse room with a bunch of podcasters later tonight. Okay. Yeah, everyone in the digital space is generally very supportive of each other.
I could never see myself collaborating with no other handicapper. Like I would love to just get in a room and let's just
fight it out. Maybe I'll have to set that up or something. I'll set it up.
You gotta set.
We'll get a round table. We'll get a round table going.
Yeah, but hey, man, it's at the end of the day, I get a lot of like different. Like I've had all types of people talk crazy about me. I don't never respond to nobody. So I just won't. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Tell me about this show that you're a part of on Spike TV, Cappers.
Oh, yeah, the show is called Cappers on Spike TV. It's about me and 4 other cast members. Pretty much, they just showing the lifestyle of a handicapper in Las Vegas, showing pretty much the day-to-day life. And it's a dope show, man. It'll be out soon.
So 4 of you guys, all of you guys live out here?
Yes, everybody live out here. And pretty much just showing like the day and just pretty much just the betting on games and just pretty much just the everyday life of a handicapper. Like they got me from start to, picking games and betting on games, the ups and downs of betting on games. It's a really detailed show. And it showed really like a very good detail about the sports betting world. And it's real dope, very good. Shout out to my guy, Sai. He created the whole show, and it's dope show, dope content. It's going to be #1 show on Spike TV for sure.
So I haven't heard of any sports betting show like that before. So to be a first mover on that, that's just it shows your credibility and your authenticity for a lot. And sports betting is just becoming more popular. I think with COVID was like an accelerant into this new future, but everyone was sitting around. So now everyone's either a stock trader, a cryptocurrency investor, a sports bettor.
Yeah.
Everyone is much more familiar with it. And I think it seems like they're even more willing to put money up because they feel like,
man, it's so crazy. I be having people I've never even met. I'll just tell them what to bet. They put 30,000. They don't even be. Bro, I have people they can't name one person on the team, but they put $30,000 of their own money on their game just because I told them to.
Do you feel any pressure from that kind of thing?
I mean, you always feel pressure, but I'm so confident in my plays. I don't even feel no pressure. I'm so confident in my plays. I'm so confident in my ability. Like, I just know I know I'm good at it. So no, I don't really feel pressure, and especially when you're on a 14-1 run, you definitely don't feel no pressure.
That's insane. Yeah. Was that all through various sports? This run that you're on?
Yeah, it was pretty much NCAA basketball and hockey. Yeah,
okay.
Like NCAA basketball and hockey. Those
Like,
pretty much been my bread and butter for this whole streak.
Dude, it's just running it.
Yeah, this is like, it's a difference between going 14-1 on regular plays, but when you go 14-1 on 6-figure games, that's a whole different level. And I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You can be a quadruple billionaire. You don't want to lose $100,000, $250,000. Like, once you give that money to the person at the counter, that money is not 100% guaranteed to come back. So it takes balls, and you better be confident once you hand someone $150,000, $200,000. Once that game loses, bye-bye. It ain't no call them, hey, can I get my money back? It's over. So you better be confident. You better know what you're doing. Like, a lot of people think they can hop in this industry and just, okay, do what I do. Okay, I want to see you go 14-1. Like, that's like going to the Super Bowl 15 times and winning 14 times.
Go better than putting up better numbers than Tom Brady.
So yeah.
Are you the type of sports bettor that surrounds yourself with friends when you're watching games, or do you generally watch them by yourself?
When I put like it just depends. Like, I'll watch it every now and then. Sometimes I'll watch it. It just varies. It just depends. Like, yeah, sometimes I'll watch it with people. Sometimes I'll watch it by myself. I kind of prefer to just kind of watch it by myself. Because people, I don't really want to hear about nothing when I have $150,000 on the game. So I don't want to be around friends and, hey, what's going on? Let's just drink. Like, bro, I'm focused on this game. Like, everything else don't matter to me right now. I don't want to hear nothing. Like, I just want to focus on this game. After the game, we win. Then let's have fun. So 80% of the time, I probably watch it by myself. 20% of the time, I watch it with friends or whatever.
Yeah, I can only imagine the intensity. Yeah. I have a bunch of friends who are similar, so that's why I had to ask.
Yeah. So yeah.
I couldn't imagine, like, if you're in the sports book and you have $200K on the line and just everyone's around you, and half of the sports books betting on the other team.
Yep, you got that. Oh,
it could get under your skin.
Oh man, you have the super fans that don't have no money on the game, or maybe have $10 on the game, and they just going crazy because the other team win. They got the jersey of the other team. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
So even though you bet on various teams based off of your models, do you still support all of the Atlanta teams? Are those like your favorite teams?
No, I'm a 49ers fan. Yeah, I'm a 49. I don't really have too many teams that I really just keep up with. But only team I really just keep up with, that's not just for pleasure, is the San Francisco 49ers. That's my team. I've been watching them since Steve Young, Jerry Rice days. So that's kind of like my team. So yeah.
I heard the rule of thumb was always to never bet on your team because you have an implicit bias towards it.
I made that mistake once. I thought he was going to win the Super Bowl, but I think if that was my team, I probably just thought they was going to win because it was my team too. So yeah, I lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago when they played the Chiefs. That was a tough one. That was a tough loss.
Never bet on your team, man.
That was tough. Yeah.
So where do you think the future of Vegas goes from here, now that we're starting to find our somewhat relative normalcy, and there might be new introduction into Vegas in terms of new technologies or maybe new trends? Where do you see Vegas going?
I think the prices are going up on everything. I definitely see prices going up on everything, and I don't know. I just think Vegas is just gonna be a better city, man. Like, it's already a great city. Vegas is a great city. You know what I'm saying? We have, and I really don't see it until I go out in other places and I come back home and I'm like, damn, Vegas is just a great city. So, long story short, I think it's going to be an awesome new boom to Vegas. I don't think it's going to be the same Vegas that it was before the COVID. I think after the COVID, it's going to be a way better, atmosphere. I think it's going to bring a lot of more, like how you said, tech people in town. I think Vegas is going to have a different boom to it. It's going to have a more, it's already have a sophisticated boom though, like, because all the different, what they call those when they had the conventions come in town. So I think it's going to be more of those, more conventions, more tech. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Vegas for so long. I'm 29. We've been trying to bridge off of the tourism dependency for so long.
Yeah.
I think now by the end of this decade, that's finally going to happen with the move out here and having the sports teams. The sports teams is kind of like an anointment saying, like, you're an official community. Mm-hmm. Like, we're bestowing upon you this gracefulness of professional sports, and now you need to act in a traditional metropolis fashion. So we're starting to have that. I do also see this trend of moving from what was considered the entertainment capital of the world to what will inevitably become the experience capital of the world. I started seeing some things like the thing that caught my eye the most recently was podcast residencies. Circa has their own podcast studio, and they have Vizin is in there, the sports one.
Oh yeah, they're in there now. I was on that show before.
Yeah.
I did it when it was at South Point.
Yeah, so they're at Circa now.
Really?
Mitch
Okay.
and I forget the other guys.
Bill Malberg.
Yeah. And so then Wynn just announced about a month ago that they're building out a podcast studio, 3.5. They're dedicating $3.5 million towards it. And the podcast is called Blue something. It's also another sports podcast.
Okay.
So I think this is just my own prediction. I think that most casinos are going to have some sort of podcast residency because it brings the internet communities to the casino, because that's what resonates with our generation the most is the internet communities. I'm sure your fan base follows you around wherever you're going. Exactly. They message you. They're like, oh, you're at this dinner, I want to come, or whatever you're doing, they want to support you. So if you have certain things like that are installed into these casinos, will become the experience capital, right?
Exactly.
You have cappers, that's in Vegas, so that's also another experience on top of it. It's all about the leverage opportunities.
Yep.
So I'm extremely bullish on Vegas. I've literally dedicated the podcast and everything else I do to surrounding Vegas. So we're all in. We're all in, man. Right? We're hitting the biggers.
Well, yeah.
So before we get out of here, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
It's the same question I asked to everybody. And the question is, what does Las Vegas mean to you?
What does Las Vegas mean to me? I feel like, honestly, man, I feel like I am Las Vegas. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, man, when you go to New York, you want to see the Statue of Liberty. When you go to Paris, you want to see the Eiffel Tower. When you come to Vegas, you gotta bump it to me, man. I just how I feel. I love Vegas, man. Like, I've been here 8 years. This is as long as I ever stayed in any city. I love Vegas. Vegas is just like, it is what you make it, man. I love Vegas. Like, bro, I love Vegas. You can go to any Vegas is the only city you can make thousands of dollars in seconds in any. It's it. Like, it's amazing. What Vegas means to me, Vegas is everything, man. I love Las Vegas. I am Las Vegas. It's an amazing city. Amazing people in Las Vegas. You always gonna have bad and goods. I think it's more amazing people in Las Vegas. I've met amazing people in Vegas. Vegas have treated me amazing since I've been here. I love Las Vegas. I don't think I ever leave Las Vegas, honestly.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Mazi Vegas SBK. Let's go. Where do I send all of the listeners and viewers to follow you? Anything you'd like to mention?
Yeah, they can follow me at Mazi VS, MAZIVS. Simple as that. That's my Instagram. You can follow me there. And you follow me there, you see the link in my bio for my packages. You can DM me, message me. I respond. Hey, simple, man.
Mazi, I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Jake, man.
Love this conversation. You're a very authentic person. I know you're going to absolutely just kill it the rest of the year.
Sir.
And I'm looking forward to following you on your adventure and linking up at some point in the future again.
Definitely. Thank you, Jake Gallen, man. Shout out, everybody go check out Jake Gallen Podcast. Great guy, great podcast. This your boy SBK. Let's go. Oh.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir.